Hey, welcome back here. We are in the quarterfinals of our Nerd Rage Gaming Championship Series. Championship trial here from Madison, Wisconsin. We are playing Modern. I am Matt Bamonte. I'm here with Brad Brown, as always. There are 8 different decks in our top 8.
Yep, I called it. Like I said, I knew the metagame would be wide open going into the top 8, and, man, there are some exciting decks in this top 8.
Yeah, and here we go. So I'll read everyone off our top 8 here, so we'll kind of get our ducks in a line. The number 1 seed is Mason Lang. He is on red-white aggro. We saw him a couple times, maybe 3 times today. Stephen Neal, we didn't see much of, playing Burn. No wonder we didn't see him much.
Burn, and also interesting, 3
Bedlam Revelers,
right? Bedlam Revelers in the sideboard.
So that's pretty sweet. Our feature match is going to feature Tim Greenwood, who is our 3 seed. He is on Jeskai Saheeli. Have not seen him today. Interesting deck choice.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to that. John Wager, we saw play Grixis Shadow earlier. Sam is the 4. Sam Black is the 5 seed with Lantern Control. Paired against Tim Greenwood in our feature match area is our number 6 seed, Keenan Davidson. I did a little interview with him. Made it to the top 8, despite my curse that I put on him.
Yeah.
And he's on Jeskai Kiki. We have James Bush made it in 7th with Mardu Pyromancer. And it was actually our round that we featured, the 8 seed, is Kyle Veranda, and he was playing Red-Green Ponza.
Yeah, so they ID'd and
both snuck in.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So, like I said, we have the 3 versus 6. Tim Greenwood with Jeskai Saheeli versus Keenan Davidson, the 6. Jeskai Kiki. Our players are almost situated over there, I think. So, Modern, man. 8 decks.
Yeah, 8 different decks, 92 players. Metagame was wide open today. Really just showcases that if you know how to play your deck well, you can do well with it.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. And I thought Jund and Tron were like the best decks. Nowhere. So yeah.
And they might be. They
Yeah.
might have the best percentage of the field. But the thing is, we're talking maybe a percent or
Right.
a 0.5%.
Sure.
And I don't know. I all of these decks seem powerful.
Yeah, everybody's doing crazy stuff here. I mean, besides like Burn. Burn's not really too crazy, but everyone's
Burn's
doing,
trying to keep you fair. Burn's trying to say, hey, whoa, rein yourself in a little bit.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Burn just wins this whole thing. It's
Yeah, I mean,
they just hope and keep everybody honest. You want to do sweet stuff?
Here's the problem, right? He's facing Mardu Pyromancer. How many copies of Collective Brutality in that list?
No, come on. Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough sledding. So
it does look like our players are ready to go.
Alrighty, we're going to jump on down here to the feature match area. And where I said we have Tim Greenwood on Jeskai Saheeli versus Keenan Davidson on Jeskai Kiki. So it's a color matchup.
Yeah, this should be a really interesting game.
Yeah, so we'll see what's the better version here.
So let's take a look at some lists. So we've got Keenan. Keenan has how many copies of Cryptic Command? 3 copies
I believe
of
there's
Cryptic
3,
Command,
yep.
2 Snare, 2 Logic Knot. That's his counter spells available to him. The Jeskai Saheeli player has 4 Remand, 2 Snare, 2 Cryptic Command, and a Dispel. Ooh, that Dispel could be good.
The Dispel sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
So kind of, can you explain for people that aren't really familiar how this Jeskai Saheeli deck works?
Yeah, so there's a card that is banned in Standard called Felidar Guardian.
Why?
When Felidar Guardian enters the battlefield, it blinks another permanent, which means it makes it leave the battlefield and then re-enter the battlefield. Saheeli Rai is a Planeswalker that has a minus ability that makes a copy of a creature or an artifact, and that creature or artifact gains haste. And so what happens is you play Felidar Guardian, blink Saheeli, Saheeli makes a copy of Felidar Guardian, you repeat this process an infinite number of times, and then all of your I think it's a 1/3 or 1/4 Felidar Guardians.
1/4, I believe.
Yeah, they attack you for lethal.
Doesn't die to bolt. Otherwise, it's probably not playable in this format. So we'll bring that baby up too. So it's a 1/4. You can kind of read the text. Brad kind of gave you the cliff notes on this.
Yep, and Felidar Guardian, I think everyone agreed that the fact that it says target permanent was the problem.
Yes.
You can do things like blink lands, so you can actually combo off, even though it takes a total of 7 mana. You can combo off on turn 6 if your opponent taps out. Yeah.
All right. So we kind of see that's Tim's combo game plan. We saw Keenan's combo game plan where it was Restoration Angel and Kiki Jiki, plus there's a Deceiver Exarch in there as well.
Yeah, and Saheeli Rai also just pluses to Scry.
Yeah.
So in some ways, just playing it on 3 and getting value out of the Scry is certainly relevant as well.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I assume this game's going to go real long.
Yeah, it's going to be who pulls the trigger first. There's going to be a lot of, waiting game. Keenan's got some advantage, though. Deceiver Exarch and Restoration Angel are both flash creatures.
Yep.
Can allow him to play on Tim's end step. a lot better than Tim's going to be able to play.
Yeah, I agree. Being an instant speed only deck, I mean, Keenan, everything in his deck is instant speed except for these Wall of Omens, basically.
Yeah.
Maybe the Serum Visions, like so he's less of a tap out deck, where Tim is certainly the more tap out friendly version of this deck, and that definitely definitely serves Keenan better in this matchup.
Yeah, and I think Keenan's most important thing is going to be wanting to draw lands and make sure he's hitting land drops every turn.
All right. Speaking of playing on your opponent's turn, there's a Vendilion Click from Tim here at Keenan's end step.
Yep. Singleton copy of Vendilion Click in Tim's list.
So what Keenan decides to do here, it's pretty interesting. Yeah, just here you go.
Now the thing about playing this on turn 3 is you're not threatening to untap and combo.
Correct. Yeah.
So I think Keenan's like, all right, I'll let this resolve.
Yeah, it's pretty scary on Tim's end. Keenan's hand is just chock full of spells.
Yeah, it is. What's that card there at the top?
Restoration Angel.
Okay.
And it is a promo.
All right, so he's got 2 different artworks on his Resto Angels.
Oh, man. Does that mean I have to get rid of Keenan? Does that mean I have to get rid of him, too?
So Kiki goes to the bottom.
Draw Path to exile. I don't know if Path is really where you want to be in this matchup. It's certainly good against Felidar Guardian.
Yeah, it does stop the combo, which, you're happy to do about that.
Yep.
And Felidar Guardian being a 1/4 means all these Bolt and Helixes aren't able to stop that combo.
Yeah, and now Tim might think the coast is kind of clear, so Keenan going to go ahead and take this 3. Everybody's going to be using their life total as a resource, I would assume, in this matchup. So
yeah, now in terms of burn, the Jeskai player has 5 copies of 3 damage burn spells, 4 bolts and 1 helix.
Which Jeskai player?
Good point. The Saheeli player. Whereas Keenan has, let's see, an Electrolyze, 4 bolt, and 3 helix, as well as 3 Snapcaster mages. Jeskai Saheeli player has 4 Snapcaster mages, so Tim has slightly less burn than Keenan.
Okay.
And Keenan also has more lightning helixes. So if it comes down to like a burn race or trying to do chip points damage, Keenan's also kind of favored there as well.
That's fun.
So I think on paper, I'm leaning Keenan's way.
Yeah, I think so too. This matchup, I'm sure that Tim has played like the Jeskai control. Maybe not this exact, obviously this exact 75 cards, but something very similar. I'm sure he's played against, especially with the resurgence of Jace and how much it's come to the forefront here in the past few weeks.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So
Keenan is on land 6, whereas Tim is on land 4.
He's on land 5, right? Keenan's on 5. That's there's a spreading disease on that. Yeah, it's okay.
You're right.
So look, here we are. We're just playing a burn matchup.
Yeah.
This certainly favors Keenan with the lightning helix.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, there's kind of this sub game going on. Is you can't sit there and hold up your counter spells forever for my combo pieces if I'm just gonna bolt and snap bolt you.
Yeah, and I love Keenan's position here. He has this Restoration Angel. I think he has a pair of them in hand.
Yep.
So, like, even here, if Tim wants to do nothing again, you just, like, jam one of these, and he has to deal with it, right? You got to get through these counter spells eventually. These matchups are hard to play because you have to know when to care and when not to care about certain spells. So, Keenan, just going to fetch down here. Looks like the 13. Probably going to go get a basic island here, I would assume.
Also shuffles his Kiki back in, which is
pretty good.
Nice. Now he does only have 2 red sources right now. Could have a 3rd one in his hand though.
Yeah, I couldn't make it out. I thought he had all spells in hand.
Oh yeah, he does.
Boom, thud, Restoration Angel.
It's big.
What do you got? Okay. Wow, Tim's just gonna let that go?
Looks like
has to try and path it.
Yep.
This is great for. What happened here? Oh, he's waiting. Okay. Yeah, he didn't want to do that in Keenan's end step. He gives him the free untapped land.
Right.
So he's just waiting until Keenan's untaps, which is smart. You
Yep.
want to do that. You don't want to ramp your opponent in the control matchup.
Yes.
It's pretty bad. So heads up there by Tim. Keenan's left with just all gas.
And Keenan didn't really want to fight over it, and I think that's the right play.
Yeah, I don't think you want to be fighting over inconsequential things like that. And he's got 3 more restos. He's got 1 in hand and just a couple more. So.
Right.
He wants to fight over the more important things. And these look like they're both going to the bottom at this point, I think. Spellsnare's pretty good against Snapcaster Mage, but Keenan does have one, right?
Yeah, and they do get to see their deck list. So, he also has 4 copies of Remand, which it's okay against that as well. I mean, you're not too sad to be remanded, unless it's a big spell like Cryptic Command.
Sure. Yeah, trading down on mana is the death knell in these kind of matchups as well.
Yep.
We talked about that Dispel being real good.
Yes.
When you trade 1 mana for 4, it's pretty good. Ooh, Tim's going to miss a land drop. This is also a big problem in these matchups. The first person to miss land drops often dies, too.
Yep, they're often way behind or get way behind.
Yeah, not enough resources available to win the long counterspell fights. So, looks like Keenan going to go down to 10 here. Probably going to go get another red source, I assume, here. All right, fools me.
Yeah, he's probably not prioritizing the combo, which is fine. Just wants to make his mana good for all of the other spells in his hand.
Just going to thud another one of these down. Let's see. It's getting remanded here. I think it's a foil remand in him. Yeah. Oh, it's a Snapcaster.
Snapcaster Mage.
Oof. Yeah, that's really good there. This is where the spell snares are good, is against these Snapcasters. This is a great trade-off for Keenan here.
Snare for Snap is really, really good.
You got another one? Yeah. He does have another one.
All right.
So well, now Keenan gets another land here, though.
Right.
So while it doesn't look great, he just got another land and just kind of fought off. And now Tim's down to 2 cards. Keenan also down to 2 cards. But I think Keenan's fine with that trade.
Keenan also has 2 more copies of Celestial Colonnade. One's got a Spreading Seas on it there. But he's got 2 more Restos, 2 more Colonnades. Those are going to be a problem. And Tim's down basically a path at the moment and 2 Snapcaster Mages.
What do we got? Is that another Resto? That's another Resto.
Wow.
Yeah, this thing's probably going to... This Snapcaster's probably just going to get eaten alive. Not another remand, I think, though. But Keenan has enough to re-jam this Resto.
Tim also has a Cryptic command, though.
Okay.
So, but
Keenan can fight back.
Keenan can fight back, yeah.
Yeah, Keenan can go down to 8.
And this is
pretty risky.
This is where hitting your land drops is a big deal.
Yeah. Pretty risky against the burn here. Felidar Guardian. Had a little trouble making out Tim's hand, so just passes. A thud. I like Keenan just putting all of his stuff on the table. All right, deal with these. Is that it? I think there's a Cryptic, a Felidar Guardian. I think there might be a pair of Felidar Guardians actually in Tim's hand.
Hard to see. So this resolves. Looks like Path, Land, Cryptic from Keenan.
Yeah, I think so. He comes smashing in for 3, it looks like. Oh, he's going to wait. How do you feel about this from Tim if he pauses him here?
Yeah, it's tough. One thing I would do in a situation like this is when they cast the Resto on the end step, that's when you would really want to pause and think, like, am I going to Cryptic in combat?
I agree.
Because in the end step, you make it look like you have a path or something, or some, maybe I want to counter this. If you're going to Cryptic in combat, make sure that you know.
Yeah, giving away free information like this is a big deal in these kind of mirrors, where you pick up your graveyard and look through it. You have a Snapcaster Mage, and you can bluff those kind of things, but it takes a ton of repetitions to do those kind of things just unnaturally. Yep. I used to do it a lot when I played Grixis Delver. I'd pick up my graveyard and make my opponent think when I didn't have anything, and it's just kind of an acquired skill with some of these decks.
Yeah, I really like, if you ever watch Reed Duke, he's very good at any time there's any moment of downtime, like your opponent's thinking about something, or he's always picking up his own graveyard or his opponent's graveyard, and he's really thinking about everything that exists. And so if you're looking for someone technical, him and PVD are really good at that.
Yep. Paulo's a master. He's fun to watch.
Yeah.
Let's see, so Keenan's going to go ahead and fire off this Path to Exile on this. Man, if you're trading...
And this is what we're fighting?
And that's really good for Keenan, I think. I wonder if I let that go. It's pretty tough.
Yeah, I mean, Tim doesn't have a ton of lands, but, like I said, you can combo just with 6.
I think there's any way... Okay.
Oh,
I was wondering if there was a place where you might bounce the Spreading Seas.
Ooh, interesting.
To be able to attack with this... Because, I mean, that puts Tim down to 2 if you let that go.
Yeah, that's an interesting line. The problem is it does give Tim a redraw.
Yeah, and
Spreading Seas' overall mana cost isn't very high.
Yeah, that's fair. Especially in this late game scenario here. Keenan's 3 turns away from killing Tim, and I think Tim's down to 1 card. Keenan's up to 2. He drew another Cryptic command off of the Cryptic command.
Was perfect.
Chaining those together is pretty good.
Yep.
Keenan's just probably a burn spell away from being the happiest possible here. Oh, Tim does have a bunch of cards. Here's another Path.
Wow. So just paths flying all over the place. Keenan has no more basics.
And he has 1 resto left?
He's going to go double check, but I believe he's got 3 islands,
3,
1
1,
mountain, 1 plains, and I think I see all of those out on the battlefield right now.
Yep. Just going to shuffle it up.
So these paths are now just hard removal spells.
Yep. Pretty good match so far.
Yeah. It's really close, and if Keenan even breaks off just a couple of lands here, it could be lights out.
Another path.
Wow.
Boy, oh boy. What do we got? Lightning Bolt?
Looked like Lightning Bolt to me.
I think he has Lightning Bolt and a Felidar Guardian at this point in the game.
I think he's protecting his hand pretty well. 2 mana.
Is it a Snapper?
Search for his Kanta.
Looks like another Spreading Seas.
Spreading Seas, yeah. Nope, 0 copies of Search for his Kanta necessary.
Spreading Seas.
Now, what are you picking?
There's no way you fight over this. Yeah, one of the white sources.
I think one of the red ones.
Oh, really? Oh, you want to stop the Kikis.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
That was a Helix.
Helix and a Bolt, so Keenan's at a virtual too.
Yeah, that's pretty good. This might come down to burn.
Keenan's going to be in a spot where he has to fight over these burn spells, which feels real bad.
Yeah.
Is that a Snappy?
It was a Snapcaster.
At this point, I'm not sure what Keenan has in the graveyard other than a Cryptic Command.
I feel like we're just watching 2, Jund players, top decking over and over and over again here.
Yeah, and Keenan's just going to go to 5. He's just, yeah, whatever. 5 to 9, sure. Snapcaster's probably going to kill Tim at some point, and just, let him use his burn spells against you, and who cares? There's an Opt for Tim.
Helix is definitely a card I think that will draw some.
Helix swings the match big time.
Now, there is Spell Snare in the yard, so Keenan has a clean answer to that.
Yeah, and Tim has, looks like Opt. What's this? I think this is the Felidar Guardian. I thought he had one. This is certainly going to get a fight, I think. Keenan has a Snapcaster Mage and enough to flash this back, I believe, this Cryptic Command.
If he needs to,
He's short. He's short 1 mana.
Oh, right. The Spreading Seas keep getting us.
What? Ooh.
Counter draw drew a Deceiver Exarch.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I think it's time.
What's interesting here is he can tap Tim's land.
Try and go nuts.
And
Tim's going to have to fight back here with something. So
looks like Opt.
So this Lightning Helix just doesn't do anything against this. I feel like
right, I think you're going upstairs with this.
You have to Helix him now? No? Gonna go for the Opt? All right.
You don't have to. Okay, so he was probably tapping that land with the XR.
Yeah, trying to get a Path to Exile.
Yep.
Shut a Path to Exile down.
Yep.
Pretty heads up from Keenan. Keenan looks like he's in a good spot here.
So he can win with a top deck Kiki.
Just more Path to Exiles. It's fine. Tim going to go down to 8 to 5 we're at.
I still think Tim's really close to winning this game.
I agree. There is a Snapcaster now in Keenan's hand, though, so.
Yep.
I thought there was another Spreading Seas, but I couldn't quite make it out.
Problem with the foil decks. Really hard for the coverage team.
Can't wait till they ban those foil cards.
He's even got foil unstable lands.
All right, here we go. Another Felidar Guardian. This has got to be a snap.
Keenan gonna fight over this. He's got 2 paths in his hand.
Oh, that's fair.
I can't imagine fighting over this.
I don't think so. Not with the Path. I think the Path kind of says, okay, have this. You can untap a land. Who cares?
Yep.
Or you can tap one of Keenan's lands, I suppose.
I think Felidar Guardian is permanent U control. So he can actually choose Spreading Seas to draw a card.
Okay.
I like it.
I like it. Okay, so just flickered the Spreading Seas and recast it, basically, is how it worked there. All right, here comes the Path. There's a Lightning Helix. Oh, I thought that was a Lightning Bolt also in Tim's hand, but it's not.
Okay. I thought it was too for a second. But if it is, I don't think you go for it yet.
Yeah, Keenan still has
You're really looking for a piece of counter magic, I think.
Yeah, the Dispel is like the blow out of the century, so.
If it is a Lightning Helix Bolt, even a Cryptic Command would be pretty good.
All right, here we go. Can you draw another Snapcaster? Is that another Snap, I think?
I think it was.
Yeah, Keenan's going to be in great shape here. If he has double Snapcaster, it's pretty good.
This is just a 7-turn clock.
Just Spell Snare. That's a pretty good draw.
That's a pretty good draw. It's got to be close to going for it.
I like Keenan just showing a lot of discipline here. There's a wall of omens. All right. Keenan showing a ton of discipline here. This is a
I agree.
really interesting match. I think it's easy to get caught up in wanting to just jam your Snapcasters to kill your opponent.
Yeah.
And Keenan showing a lot of respect for Tim's burn package.
And he has a lot of land, so he can afford this. And here he's making sure that playing Wall of Omens isn't going to hurt him more than help him.
Yep. Is this spell snareable? I don't think so.
If I have the burn in my hand like I do,
There we go.
there's a colonnade.
That's what we needed.
That's certainly going to
That
prompt
ends the
some
game
response.
next turn, yeah.
Yeah.
Just spreading seas, I think. No, it was a remand, it looked like.
Okay. Remand's actually pretty good.
Remand
It
Helix.
makes these the snaps kind of bad.
Yeah. Seer Visions.
So are we just
Yeah, I like this.
Okay.
Keenan just has all this land. I think he's going to make Tim kill this Deceiver Exarch. Otherwise,
yeah.
Tim's just going to die. Which is really sad against Deceiver Exarch to get beat down for one over and over. All right, here comes the battle.
Looks like we might be fighting over.
Remanding that, wow. Yeah, I think Tim's just trying to churn through his deck a little bit here and hopefully find another piece of burn or a counter spell.
He wants to find something.
Another path.
Wow.
All right.
What an interesting game. Electrolyze. That seems fun.
Both those cards are real good.
Yeah, also a spell snare, right?
Yeah, so you can stack the Electrolyze here and draw that spell snare basically at will.
Yep, it looks like he is going to be safe and conservative and put the snare on top.
All right. Keenan does have a fetch land also if he deems that card's just not worth it. So we're 5-5 here, getting down to the nitty gritty.
Tim's really thinking about pulling the trigger on this lightning helix there.
Yeah,
He showed restraint though.
it might have been another Snapcaster Mage.
It's pretty good.
This matchup has been crazy so far. Very long set so far, and this is just our first game here
Yeah.
of our quarterfinals. I thought Tim was dead to rights at
I
one
did
point.
too, but I think it's really close right
Yeah,
now.
it's gotten a lot closer.
All right, here we go. Yep.
When they start to Lightning Helix you on their main phase, they want this fight to happen. It's
Yeah.
kind of what it feels like most of the time. He says, all right, Keenan, what do you got? Keenan has like Snap Cryptic, I think is the best he can do. But does that tap him out fully? Yeah, Keenan trying to find the best way to do this here.
Spell snare?
Oof.
Yep. It's pretty good.
Okay, that happens. Lightning Helix you down to 2. Down to 2.
Tim goes up to 8. Very important.
Adds 3 turns to the clock.
Yep.
8-2 here. And I think Tim actually has a Snapcaster Mage.
He does, yeah.
So now, has he got 2 cards or 1 card left? I think he has 1 card left.
I think it's 2, actually.
Okay.
I'm not 100%.
Going for this lightning.
Just going for
Bolt.
Okay.
Keenan going to dig through here. He has Cryptic Command, a Spell Snare. So he knows about the Spell Snare.
Yeah.
So Tim's playing around that.
Tim's definitely playing around snare right now, which is really smart.
What do we got? What do we got?
Sure. So the
I think
snap
Keenan's
is still
waiting.
on the stack.
Yep.
Yeah, and you can never, as a player, push your opponent past a certain point.
Right.
You can always get someone to rewind
Another
if you weren't
spell
given the.
snare.
Wow.
Keenan's dead. I think Keenan's just dead.
I think that is game. Yeah.
Keenan's just picking stuff up.
And there we go. The burn plan, the plan B was
wow.
was what got us there.
What a crazy game that was.
Yeah, we thought Keenan was favored, having more instant speed, and Tim just drew more bolts.
Yeah, that's
and I
good.
mean, one thing to mention is that Keenan did have to shock a lot.
Yeah.
And Tim was able to go through his deck a little bit more because of those spreading seas.
Yeah, it was interesting back and forth. I thought Keenan was so far ahead at one point and then just died.
Yeah, there were a lot of paths cast. He was able to deal with 3 of the Resto Angels pretty cleanly.
Yeah, so the players are going to look at each other's sideboards here, and we're going to do the same here. So on Keenan's side, he has a pair of Dispels.
Why don't we pull him up?
Oh, yeah, we can do that. We can do that now.
Yeah,
we have the
we
technology.
have the technology.
All right, let's see if I hit the right button here. So let's see.
So we're going to go back to the booth,
Yeah,
talk
we're
about the
gonna come back
sideboards
here.
a bit while the players review.
All right, so we'll come back here just for a second, and I will show everybody the sideboards here. Look at this.
There we go.
Look at this sweet piece of technology,
Yeah.
man.
So my wonderful wife, Michelle, did all of our overlays for us. If you watched the stream last month and you saw the stream this month, huge improvements in the overlay, huge improvements in the technology along with it. Norm and all of us have really put a lot of effort into making this thing a success. And this sideboard screen and overlay and all the overlays you see definitely done by my wife, and super happy with that. So
Yeah.
thanks again, Michelle. We love you.
Yeah, it looks awesome. So a lot of good improvements here. Speaking of improvements, how does Keenan get better post-board?
Yeah, so Keenan's got 2 Dispels. Definitely bringing those in. He's got a Negate. I like that. Static Caster doesn't really do anything. Kuranos is very
Kuranos
good.
is a bomb.
Very good. Celestial Purge deals with Saheeli.
Yeah.
That's about it, though, right?
There's Settle the Wreckage. Yeah, I don't think... Okay.
Oh, here's an interesting one.
Crumble Dust? Don't say Crumble Dust.
No, Runed Halo.
I'm not
naming Feldar Guardian.
I'm not a Runed... Wow, that's...
Now they can't
oh,
combo
now
you?
you got me. Now you got me thinking.
I mean,
So...
the problem is Cryptic Command as well, right?
I'm between a couple cards. Like Crumble to Dust.
What are you trying to hit with Crumble to Dust?
Does he not have any?
He has a Lighthouse, but no creature lands.
No Celestial Colonnade. Okay, never
Yep.
mind. I'm off that then.
Okay.
I wanted to see if... oh, excuse me. This is... yeah, so the Crumble to Dust for Keenan is just nonsense.
Oh, we were looking at the...
Yeah.
You said how Keenan...
How does Keenan get better?
How
Yeah.
does Keenan get better,
So
yeah.
Keenan's not bringing crumbles against Tim. I didn't know if
Right.
Tim had some amount of
Celestial
Colonnades,
Yep.
but he doesn't. So pretty bad. The Keranos definitely coming in the Dispels and the Negate almost certainly. So
Yes.
on Tim's end, a couple Supreme Verdicts sound like nonsense. A couple Negates probably okay.
Yep.
Static Caster, Dispel, Counterflux, Click, Stony Silence, Sun Titan.
Dispel, Counterflux, Click, and Sun Titan all seem really good to me, and even the potential for the Lightning Helix as well.
Yeah.
The Sun Titan is a combo in itself with Saheeli.
Why?
I don't remember exactly how it works, but if you have if you have one Saheeli that's been countered
Yeah.
recently, and you have one on the battlefield, you can make infinite copies of Sun Titan, because Sun Titan, when it enters the battlefield, returns Saheeli. You keep the one that you returned. You minus on the Sun Titan, make a copy of it. The Saheeli that you didn't keep went to the graveyard, and then they just keep
Oh,
coming
mercy.
to the battlefield over and over again,
Oh, mercy.
and you combo off with Sun Titan.
oh,
And they all
mercy.
have haste, so it's just another Axis. It's a little bit expensive, but you typically want all your threats in a control matchup, and I assume it's coming in.
I agree. All right, so we'll jump this off the screen here. So I guess kind of these guys are shuffling up. We're going to hop on back down there real quick just to check them out. I don't know who gets better post-board. They're almost bringing in the same exact cards, right?
Yeah,
Keenan has this like bomb though of Keranos.
Keranos seems, if that resolves, it's going to be really tough.
Yeah.
Really tough for Tim to win.
Somebody asked here about the top 8 and what it consists of. The 1 seed is Mason Lang on Red-White Aggro. 2 is Stephen Neal on Burn. 3, Tim Greenwood on Jeskai Saheeli. 4 is John Wager on Grixis Shadow. 5 is Sam Black on Lantern. 6 is Keenan here. He's on Jeskai Kiki. James Bush is our 7 playing Mardu Pyromancer. And Kyle Veranda is playing Red-Green Ponza. So we have 8 unique decks in our top 8 here. And this is just our quarterfinals, and we're about to start the second game here.
It looks like all of our top 8 matches are still going. We might have one just finish up. Hopefully we can get some results.
Yeah, we'll definitely get that going for you guys. Thanks again for tuning in here. We are in Madison, Wisconsin for our March Championship trial here. It's been a good day. Been a lot of decks.
A lot of different decks, yeah. I'm really excited to see how this plays out.
All right, here they go. So Keenan going to lead off here on Celestial Comet. It seems pretty important in this matchup.
Yeah, you really want to tax your opponent's path to exiles. And
Speaking of,
I assume Tim left in a Spreading Seas.
Yeah, I think your paths are they're so taxed with Restoration Angel, and obviously this Deceiver Exarch. You need to leave them all in, and they just hit Celestial Colonnade in a pinch. I think you need them to kill Colonnade also.
I agree.
Yeah, Keenan's hand's pretty good. Does he have a third? Yeah, he's a third and a fourth land, so Keenan's in pretty good shape here. I think he has Resto. I thought he had Resto Kiki. He has a Restoration Angel, so. And a Spell Snare is pretty important. So he has a Spell Snare for this Spreading Seas if there is one here from Tim.
The question is, because you have 2 Colonnades, do you care about Spreading Seas?
I just think you want him. Just trading 1 for 1 I think is okay.
Okay.
I don't know. Spell Snare is a card that might just be reserved for Snapcaster Mage. Just not really sure.
Yeah, it's tough to say.
Dispel. Well, that's a good one. All right. Keenan says I'm just blue-white. Go ahead.
I think that was a click. Yeah, I think Tim drew click.
Oh, that's a dead giveaway right there.
Yeah. What 3-mana spell? I mean, he also doesn't have double blue, so it could rep. He doesn't have any Logic Knots, but it could rep. Yeah, there's no double blue cards either, so yeah, I think you could put him on click.
All right, here we go. Keenan going to fire off a Serum Visions.
Is that a bolt he drew?
Looks like it. Yeah, we just
leave
it all.
Bolt?
Leave it all, baby.
Wow. Yeah. Keep all the spells.
Yeah, drew a mountain.
Okay, mountain.
All right.
I think I want all these cards.
Yeah, I think so.
Wow, is he going to bottom both of them?
Okay.
Wow. All right, so
we're looking for combo pieces.
Keenan wants the combo. I mean, he does have a Dispel, so.
Boy, that's pretty good right there. So this is almost certainly going to get the Restoration Angel, right?
I would assume, yeah.
Take a look.
You think Keenan's like, man, I should have kept one of those?
Yeah, it's tough. That's pretty tough. I think Keenan's just okay with this exchange. It's hard to say. It's hard to say if Tim even wants anything from here. The Resto Angel's pretty hard to beat.
He's already got a bolt in the hand, right? That is a bolt?
I believe that is Lightning Bolt, yes.
Okay.
So, like, Tim's kind of in the spot where he has to take the Lightning Bolt because it deals with the click. He also has to take the Restoration Angel because he doesn't have an answer to it.
Yeah.
So he's in a tough pinch here. Let's see where he goes.
And there's the Snare and Dispel, which are going to be really awkward if he doesn't take either one of those. Now he has to play around them.
Yeah, Keenan's hand's really good. I don't envy Tim in this position.
Yeah.
This is why we're in the booth. This is why I'm in the booth.
This is a tough one.
I can't make these tough decisions, so.
And it does look like he took Restoration Angel, I believe.
Okay.
Keenan drew the
Helix
anyways.
Yeah, here you go.
I like it.
Pretty good stuff there for.
And now he has Dispel
Keenan.
and Snare. But that means Tim could stick a Saheeli here now, right?
Yeah, if he knows the coast is clear for the most part.
Interesting.
We should be at 17 to 20.
Yeah, Tim crossing off some of the cards. Looks like
Is
this
this
is a Saheeli, yeah.
Oh boy.
I like it.
Oh boy.
Let's get our value in.
Oh boy. All right, Keenan going to go down to 19 here.
Yep. Should see a scry from Tim.
Saheeli seems pretty good in this matchup.
I agree.
Just overall.
Scrying every turn, yeah, it's not drawing a card, but card selection is very important.
Keenan probably is like priced into zapping. Oh, that's pretty good. If the Helix snap bolt to Saheeli, that feels really bad if that has to happen.
Yeah, I don't think we're quite there yet. Saheeli's ultimate, I believe.
Was there another? Is there multiple Vendilion clicks? There's a second one on the board here. Looks
there
like
is a second one.
Tim
on the board,
brought that one in. Okay. So Keenan down to 18. 20 turn clock for Tim.
Yeah. It will add up though. Every little point of
that's true.
Of
We watched last game how it just really added up really quickly, and it was it got really bad for Keenan really quickly. All right, here we go. Here comes the first fight of the game.
So we're going for a snap bolt on the Saheeli, I assume.
Yeah, I assume we got to try and get this thing under control. Tim lets it go.
Keenan says, I know the rules changes are coming.
Yeah.
I'm just going to target your Saheeli.
We're fighting back on this. Wow. Dispelling a bolt.
It is interesting. And
what do we got, a remand here? This is going to get Spell Snare. That's going to feel really good for Keenan.
Well, we can't spell snare, right? Because it's dispel.
Oh, it was Dispel, excuse me. I thought there was a negate on the stack. Let's see.
I think Tim has a negate. And
Okay.
I think he almost pulled the trigger on it, but he was thinking maybe he would.
Does he know about the Spell Snare? Is that right?
Yeah, he does know about that.
Okay.
So he needs to be careful. There's a possibility he wants to get this snare out of his hand, but I doubt it.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a great trade because Saheeli dies that way anyways.
Right.
And you lose 3 cards. That's pretty bad. That's a pretty bad trade.
And we know Keenan with the Helix. This Saheeli is not long for the world.
Yeah, and Keenan's also a land away from this colonnade just smashing into. Remand. Yeah, he knows about this snare. I'm almost 100% sure he knows about the snare.
I still think this might be a good exchange for Tim overall. But I wonder if...
Do you have another? Do you have something else?
Yeah. This is a crazy stack
We're putting it all on the we're putting it all on the table here. I'm pretty sure Tim's at 14. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I wanted to make sure. I changed it because I saw the dice, but I was pretty sure. So that's snared. His bolt is dispelled. The Snapcaster is good to roll. And here we are.
All right. And Saheeli looking like she's going to...
Bang. All right. Saheeli down. That's a win for Keenan.
I think so. It did cost him quite a few counter spells, though.
Yeah. I think he's just in the driver's seat with this colonnade as long as it stays on the table. He finds another spell snare. That's really good.
Wow.
So he's going to put Tim down to 12. This is significantly faster. Twice as fast a clock as the last game.
That's true. All right, so end step click, it looks like.
Yeah, I think that's pretty bad for Keenan here. Let's see.
Do you fire off the Helix?
I think so, because if it's going to negate, you have the snare. If it's a dispel, you have a snap. You have a Snapcaster to cover it. I think you want to fight here.
Nope.
No, just lets it go. All right, gonna let it go. Yeah, Tim just kind of pondering over trying to go over his choices here and see.
Do you bottom the snap? It's the most value.
Yeah, it's almost certainly Keenan's best card.
Yeah. It's got to be one of them, though, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
You're not just leaving those.
Planes. All right.
All right.
So, and
he's still losing the race with the click.
We're almost even, but he has us have the Lightning Helix, so that's something.
And if he doesn't attack, it kind of represents that he doesn't have a path.
Yeah, it's scary. Attacking is scary.
Okay.
All right, gonna go down to 15 here on Keenan's end. It's gonna be another tight one.
I do feel like you're right. I think this is gonna be a little close.
Another scalding turn.
Yeah.
All right, do you just fire up the colonnade here at some point? When does the colonnade fire up?
That's the tough one. I'm not sure.
Is it when you can hold a counterspell with it as well, like a spell snare?
Yeah, but I mean,
it doesn't do anything.
Right, and he can already do that, like colonnade having vigilance.
Yeah, he needs a way. Oh wow, Tim going to multiple 3. I don't like that.
He probably wants to protect it against a path to exile some way. So he probably won't fire it up until he has like a negate or a dispel or
yeah. That's the thing is we just have to play around path to exile. It's the one card that really gets this celestial colonnade. So, and Keenan's pretty firmly ahead in the race with this Helix and obviously with these colonnades.
Yeah.
And now actually Keenan has left us back also as a blocker for the Vidalian Click if he's so inclined. And I think if Tim wants to path this, I think Keenan's just okay with him getting his path. Looks like a remand is in hand. All right, here we go.
All right, down to 12.
Yeah, Keenan not firing up that Celestial Colonnade. Maybe he wants to go for like a burn spell here and just fight. Is this a spreading seize?
Interesting. Is this snareable? I feel like it's snareable.
Yeah, I think at this point in the game, we don't want Tim drawing more cards. And the Colonnade's really worth a lot at this point in the game. And you're getting cards out, too. That's a negate. That's been negated.
I mean, that's definitely a win for Tim there.
Yeah, I agree. The problem is I think I'm firing off this Helix here if I'm Keenan. I'm trying to win the game this turn. Oh, he got it. Okay, well, he had a dispel. But I mean, this is 6 to the melon here, right? Because he has another colony hanging out up there on the top that we just kind of can't see.
I believe you're right.
Yeah, there's a colony right there. So he comes smack you for 6, clean 6. All right.
And now he really represents, hey, I don't have a path.
Yeah, I don't. I think that's a steam vents up there.
I mean, it's possible he could have mistapped, but I doubt it.
He has a cryptic command in hand, I think Tim does.
Cryptic's not bad. You can bounce the colonnade, and if Keenan plays a land for the turn, then he can't play the colonnade or comes into play tap.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. Can Tim win this race, though, is my thing now.
No.
I just don't think so.
Yeah, I think the click's going to be back on blocking duty.
And if the click gets pathed here, he's in a lot of trouble again. He has to cryptic every turn for the rest of the game, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Keenan's position here. Obviously, Tim's not out of the game by any stretch. Just kind of shows the power of creature lands overall in Magic, I think, is when everyone's doing nothing, creature land's just going to take over the game.
Yep. It's a free spell. It does have some cost. I mean, coming into play tapped can definitely hurt you at times.
Okay, go to 2. It's the same as 3, I suppose. With the Snapcaster, you have a blocker.
Yeah.
But now he needs 2 answers, right? If this click is to die,
yeah,
then he needs 2 answers. One for the first colonnade, and one for the Snapcaster.
Tim has a copy of Blessed Alliance in his sideboard.
No way.
No?
I don't know. Maybe
kills colonnade.
Yeah, maybe way. I don't know. He does need answers to it.
If it's the only thing tagging.
What do we got here? Tim's tapping 3 men. I don't know what it is, though. I thought he had a remand in hand. There's a path. All right.
And we're doing this on Tim's
end step. Yeah. I think this makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
Keenan's going to have 2 lethal attackers. Tim does have the cryptic command, but Keenan's just a draw step away from...
Actually, because Tim's at 2, I think Keenan can beat cryptic.
Yeah, I think so also.
So you go to combat. Tim is forced to tap the Snapcaster Mage. And and then Keenan can fire up the colonnade after the creatures are tapped and then attack with them.
Yeah, Tim desperately needs a path to exile here.
Now he will be able to tap bounce.
Yep.
If he so chooses.
Yeah, I think you have to tap this Snapcaster and bounce the colonnade, as miserable as that sounds.
I think that's
and we just drew Cryptic does it, right?
It should do
attack. Before you attack. Keenan's going to flip this Cryptic command over and say, okay, gotcha.
All right, game 3.
All right.
Wow.
Crazy, crazy match going on here, guys.
Yeah, those are really close. Neither player even close to comboing, and it's just all coming down to chip damage.
Yeah, I feel like this matchup really changes post-board, where you're just a bad burn deck against a bad burn deck.
Yeah.
I feel like that's just kind of where we're at in this matchup.
Absolutely agree with you.
And that's where Kyranos is kind of gonna go nuts if Keenan's ever able to resolve that.
Yep.
It's obviously hard to resolve through the wall of counter magic that Tim has. But it's just like your best card, and you're just both really bad burn decks.
And that's why, for Game 3, I'm really thinking about Blessed Alliance. It's not great, but if we're both on this burn plan, Game 4, make you sack an attacking creature might be okay.
Yeah, we'll come back here to the booth just for a second to go over sideboards again. So while these guys shuffle up, and we can take a look here again and just kind of see. Tim definitely brought in some of these negates.
Yep.
The Dispel came in. I assume the Counterflux
I
is going
also
to come in.
assume mostly there for Storm, but we saw a rather large stack.
And we saw that second Vendilion click coming in. It was okay.
Yeah.
It's something that Keenan has to deal with.
Right, and you definitely, again, want to be on an instant speed plan. So, yeah.
How do you feel about this Sun Titan? Is this coming in ever?
Like I said, it's a threat. I think I would bring it in. It is expensive, but
you talked about the Blessed Alliance. I think the more I think about it, I think you just need that card. The Lightning Helix, if you're a bad burn deck, Lightning Helix is probably the swing card.
I would hope it's in.
Yeah. So I don't know here as far as Tim goes.
It's about it, though.
Yeah, and then I don't know what's bad is like my real question is, are these ops good enough to keep in? I don't know.
Probably, yeah. I mean, to me, the Saheeli Rise can generate enough value. So we're keeping those in, but Felidar Guardian could probably come out. Are you really going to combo?
I just don't think you're comboing ever. So back to Keenan for a second. These Dispels we saw, the Negate I think we saw. Keranos is almost certainly in. I just don't think there's anything else. And then maybe he's boarded out some of his combo pieces as well. Not really sure.
I'm assuming both players left, like a single
couple copies,
copy or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. All right, we're going to hop back down there. I think these guys probably all set for us. They're shuffling up. It's been a good match so far. It's been a long match, but it's been a good match.
It has been long, but I agree.
I'm sure these guys are exhausted after playing these kind of decks for so long today. So this is the 8th round for them. Let's see. Tim, I assume, is going to be on the play here.
Tim is going to be on the play, and there's really nothing he can resolve in the first couple of turns that I think puts Keenan in the back foot. This is where Search for His Count on turn 2 on the play is pretty huge.
I agree.
But neither player has any copies.
Yeah, Search for His Count is a card that just kind of, in this match especially, just generates so much advantage. Ooh, Keenan brought on the Runed Halo.
Okay.
Looks like he has it in his opener here.
Interesting.
What are we Runed Haloing? Just a Felidar Guardian?
I mean, I assume you would name Felidar Guardian, but we're not even convinced they're still in the deck.
I don't. Did he have 2 of them? Hold on a second. I don't know. Keenan might have shuffled his cards on me. I might have missed it, but I think I saw a second one. Keenan loves to shuffle his cards.
I love this too. He has a Colonnade, but he left a fetch open to represent the snare.
I like it. Keenan shuffles his cards very quickly and also places lands in front. He does have two Red Halos in his hand.
Oh, wow. These might be dead cards.
So you might just name Vendilion Click.
Click, Snapcaster Mage. You could name
Click
Bolt,
and Guardian.
Guardian, yeah. Maybe Keenan will hold him until he can click.
I just have no idea.
Did he hit Amy?
Is it
he has no copies of Click.
It's an interesting card.
Never going to be able to see Tim's hand.
No.
So they're going to be blind both times. Interesting.
What do we got here? Tim's going to pass. Keenan's going to go down. Let's see. We got a couple results in here. So Kyle Veranda actually beat Mason Lang.
Oh, wow.
I didn't think that was going to happen. Sam Black also is a winner here. So Kyle Veranda's in. Sam Black is in. And then Stephen Neal with Burn beat James Bush also. So we're just waiting on our last match here.
It was actually the other way.
Other way around, excuse me. So James Bush won.
The Collective Brutality
deck
won like we thought it would.
Gotcha. All right. Big thanks to our judge staff today, keeping us up to date as much as possible. They have a really tough job, and
really
I'm very
is.
demanding.
Yeah. Yes, you are. No, I agree. Really helping us out today, and it's a lot of pressure to put on them.
Yeah, I agree. So a lot of the small events, there's not coverage teams, so it just adds an extra layer to their job. So
yep.
Big props to those guys and girls today. Keenan choosing not to pull the trigger on any of these Runed Halos. I don't know why his card's in his deck.
Yeah,
I'm going to laugh at him later, but maybe it just wins the game, and I'm going to feel stupid.
Yeah, I mean, definitely I could see one naming Felidar Guardian, but it's possible that they're dead.
Yeah, I agree. So it's going to be kind of crazy here.
Yeah. Neither player making a move yet. Oh, Keenan's tapping some mana.
Oh, is he?
Or he's sacking some land.
He's thinking.
I assume he's going to tap some mana here.
Man, I wish he would have got Shadow
I
Doubted.
think he might Rune Halo.
He didn't know. You think he's in Rune Halo right now?
I think he might.
All right.
I think he's got like a Dispel backup or a Snare or something.
Somebody asked if we're going to be posting deck lists here. I go ahead and posted a link. We post all the deck lists to our website there, nerdragegaming.com. So be sure to check the website out. We got a lot of stuff, articles, deck lists, cards, you name it. So
here we go, Rune Halo. All right.
Do you think Tim thought this was happening?
I'm very surprised.
All right, let's see what Ruined Halo's naming. And I'm going to go ahead and bring that one up on the screen here for everybody because it's not exactly a card you see all the time. So this was kind of big when Death Shadow was one of the more popular decks. So this Ruined Halo, when it comes into play, you name a card, and you have a protection from the chosen card. Looks like they got remanded.
Oh, okay, it did get remanded. So nothing was actually named yet.
Maybe Lightning Bolt or Lightning Helix are some of the names.
It could be. Based on how the games have played out, I could see that being a thing. The question is how much you respect the Felidar combo.
Okay.
And so is that more important to you, or are you just naming that first, and then the second copy would name something like Bolt? And they do have deck lists, so I don't think we'll see Lightning Helix get named. There would be only 2 copies in the 75, okay. But I could certainly see a case for Bolt.
Yeah, Keenan going to fetch down here. And again, these guys just taking chip shots from their own lands, believe it or not. So.
Yeah, and I mean, you saw Keenan fetch up with Plains, and I think he understands that, like, his life total matters.
Yeah, the game is about these burn spells, it feels like. Keenan has a ton of cards. He has a full grip of 7 cards here. He did get remanded.
Yep.
Whoa, that's a cryptic command.
So Tim at 14, Keenan at 12.
Are we just jamming another one of these? Saying, all right, if you wanted to counter the first one, this is good. Counter this one too. Thud. I like if he does have another remand.
He does, yeah. That feels bad. Keenan has Angel plus Kiki Jiki in his hand.
Sure does. Maybe he's just trying to get these counter spells out.
Yeah, maybe.
That's a negate. Wow.
Really want to know what Keenan would have named.
I'll have to ask afterwards. All right. Another land for Tim. Tim doesn't need a land. I mean, both players are in need of lands at this point, right? So you just want to keep making your land drops and playing your game. Keenan has 2 lands in hand.
Keenan has...
There's a Resto Angel.
Okay.
Oh, he has a combo next turn.
I like playing the fetch here. It allows you to only take 1 in the end step.
Yep.
He's going to flash in the Resto Angel. He's going to fetch. And then he has the 3rd red source for the potential win next turn.
Yeah, he's just going to... I didn't even make him go for it. And it looks like Tim did keep that remand, which was pretty heads up.
Yep.
To use a negate there.
At the very least, I expect the Angel to come down this turn, or at least try to.
Yeah, I'd be hard-pressed to believe the Angel doesn't come down this turn.
We haven't seen Wall of Omens, which is not really a threat, so I think Keenan might have cut those.
Yeah, it's not really its best. Wall of Omens is best when it's blocking, so I'd probably pretty reasonable cut here. Yeah, this is interesting. I just assume Keenan's just going to slam dunk this thing and hope to get a cryptic command out.
Yeah, Tim certainly isn't letting resolve, though.
Yeah, not a chance.
I think he'll easily remand this.
Yeah, I think if this gets remanded, I think Keenan cares, but maybe not that much.
If he has a path, he might let it resolve, then path it. Yep.
And this is great for Keenan again.
That's what we see.
Great for Keenan again. Gets sped up on lands here. So now he's going to take the initiative here from Tim by being up a land or even on lands now.
Yes.
Yeah, so Keenan kind of takes the play back from Tim here because the path tags are ramping him up here. So.
Right, and Tim's kind of forced to do this on the end step, so Keenan is going to get access to that extra land.
All right. Is that a Snapcaster?
That did look like a Snapcaster mage.
Yeah, I think Keenan's in a really good spot at this point.
Going for the second copy of Ruined Halo?
I think yes. Like, we tried to jam it so many times. If you really want to cryptic this, I'm totally okay with that if I'm Keenan.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
All right, here we go. Counterflux. All right. I mean, Keenan's gotten a lot of value from these Ruined Halos, basically, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So he's gotten Was it 2 remands? It was a remand, a negate, and a counterflux.
Yes, all from Ruined Halo.
Huh. Maybe that's why he brought it in. Uncounterable. he
Yeah.
brought in an extra threat. All right, so we're going to go down to 13 here. So I will go through the top 8 here again in just a few minutes once this is... Let's see, we can probably do it real quick. So I know that into our top 4 at least, Kyle Veranda was playing Red Green Panza is in. Sam Black on Lantern Control is in. James Bush playing Mardu Pyromancer is in. And James Bush, I believe, is playing the winner of this match. So
Yep, that's right.
To round it out, Mason Lang was playing Red-White Aggro.
Lost to Red Green Panza.
That's Red Green Panza. John Wager was playing Grixis Shadow, lost to Sam Black on Lantern. Stephen Neal on Burn lost to the Pyromancer deck. And then, obviously, this is our last matchup here. So, where are we at right now?
Here we go.
This is still Keenan's main phase? Is that right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. Nope.
Oh, it was end step. Okay.
Tim doesn't have very many cards left at this point. Keenan have...
Tim's also not a card shuffler. Have you noticed that? He sets his cards down. He doesn't really
he's like
look
me.
at them. He's like, I know what's in my hand.
I don't really do it either. I just put my stuff down and separate them. I'm actually kind of surprised Keenan hasn't fired up this... And he's shown throughout the match that he's just not firing up this colonnade ever. So...
Yeah, and it might be he's trying to get his opponent out of resources so he can start firing this up now.
That's true.
One thing that's interesting is this: if this snaps resolves, he gets a bolt, and then if he can untap and play Kiki, and now he gets instant speed Snapcaster.
Yeah, this is really bad here for... Wow. Remanding that. Okay.
That's not very good.
It's not great.
You typically want to be remanding a big spell.
Another remand? I think it was another remand. He definitely has Cryptic Command. I think it's a Path to Exile, actually. Which also feels miserable here.
Yes. You do not want to be pathing a Snapcaster Mage.
All right. Tim going to go down to 7. I feel like Tim is just in tons and tons of trouble at this point.
A lot of pressure, yeah.
Now he gets that, and I think Tim's last card is... He has 2 cards. One's a Cryptic, and one's something else. So he still has Cryptic available.
He does have Cryptic Mana open.
Man, this creature land is going to go to work again.
Yeah, it's certainly going to put a lot of pressure on Tim.
And he has a Cryptic Command, too. Man, this creature land is just going to work.
How far away is he from activating and having Cryptic?
One land, I believe.
One land? Is that a Deceiver?
It looked like a negate.
Oh, okay.
So I think you just fire it up and let's go to work here.
Yeah, especially if you have the negate.
Yep. Yep, he was 1 land away from that. The line you suggested, which was the Cryptic Command, and I think we're just negating this thing into the...
Actually, he can do it now, because the colony has Vigilance.
Yeah. I just assumed that he was going to bounce this, possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, yeah, I'm totally firmly with Keenan on this.
So what do you think about using negate here instead of the Cryptic? Cryptic's way more expensive.
Yeah, I think... That's a good question, actually. I'm not sure. I think Keenan is just 1 land away from doing that again next turn. I think this negate is pretty good here.
That's
he hits
true.
more things.
Yeah. I mean, he still has the Cryptic for next turn.
He can also like bounce a Vanillion Click.
Yeah.
All right, I think Tim might just be dead.
I think, yeah.
Is that a... I thought it was a Helix.
I think it was another colonnade.
Yeah, it was. All right. Does he have a land? No.
I don't
An untapped
think
land,
you need to
excuse
play
me.
it. Yeah.
What do we got? Path.
Path to Exile.
I think you just let this go. And just play your other colonnade.
Yeah, did he declare before attacks? Yeah, he must have.
Yeah, so I think you just let it go. And you should get to play another colonnade and say,
He
I
has
beat this
one
one.
island left in his deck. Okay.
Yep.
And yeah, play another colonnade and Tim's.
It was not Martyr Proc. I see someone asking about the red-white deck. It was more of a Oketra's Monument.
Yeah, it was like a red-white
Squadron Hawk.
monument, Legion Conquistador,
Yep.
go wide, play Goblin or Reckless Bushwhacker.
Yep, and the decks will be up on nerdragegaming.com.
Yep.
So just be on the lookout for those. Bookmark the page, all that jazz. All right. Is that a click? Oh, boy, oh, boy. Here you go.
Wow.
You just have to take this. Actually, I think you just have to take this Cryptic at
You
this point,
have to
right?
take the Cryptic, right?
It feels real bad.
What's Keenan going to draw?
A lightning bolt.
Bolt, Path, any of those cards
Nope.
are good.
Yeah, just firing this up again. Tim's down to 1 card now.
Is that
Serum Visions.
Okay. He can fire that off.
Yeah, he's pretty free. He's pretty free at this point, I think.
Making sure he has enough mana to do all of those things.
I think Keenan might be contemplating playing Kiki Jiki and being able to animate. I believe he's 1 land short of that as well.
Yep.
All right, come get you. Yep. All right, block.
Oh, he can play. Oh no, he's a red source.
Yeah, he's going to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I like that from Keenan.
He could have played Kiki this turn
Yeah, I don't think Kiki does anything.
if he didn't tap his red source.
Those are both. The Celestial Purge he's going to leave on top. That's fine. I think everything else is just pretty bad.
Is that a field
Field of
run?
Ruin.
Yep.
Yeah, doesn't do a lot. All right. Field of Ruin does let him play Kiki Jiki next turn and be able to attack with both if he's so inclined. Is Tim draw Spreading Seas? No, he's dead.
There it is.
All right.
Congratulations, Keenan. Moving on to the semifinals. Also, congratulations to Tim. You don't see Saheeli do very well in many tournaments, and I think just watching Tim play, you could tell why he made it to the top 8.
Yeah, that was a wild game.
Yeah.
I think it played out the way I thought it was going to play out. Like, I think Keenan's a better burn deck.
Yep. He had more burn, more instant speed.
Yeah, and I feel like in these kind of matchups, like where comboing is kind of your ulterior game plan, being the better burn deck is probably great for him. So
we're going to take a couple-minute break. We're going to get our quarterfinal matches up and running, and then we'll be back with the next round.
yeah, we'll be back.